I'm Tracy Friedel, new to BC in 2009, Department of Curriculum and Pedagogy, a faculty member. I completed all of my educational studies in Alberta at the University of Alberta, so I'm enjoying, being at UBC now. I was prompted to become a faculty member for a variety of reasons. I think, like many other Indigenous students on the Canadian prairies anyway, I experienced the lack of representation in the curriculum, or ancestors that were either helpers, aids to the truly great explorers of the day, or hinderers, sort of road allowance people, those kinds of images. Never or seldom were Métis figures represented as heroes. And so I sort of entered into undergraduate studies with that experience. And I recall one undergraduate course in particular, an honors course in economic history. That course really has stayed with me for a very long time. The course covered the period, say, from John Cabot, the late 1400s, through to Confederation. And there was only one class, and it was a brief portion of that class that the economic participation of Native peoples was mentioned at all. And when it was mentioned, it was in relation to over-harvesting fur-bearing resources. And so their participation was minimal, but what was there was seen as morally reprehensible, in fact, and negatively affecting the GDP. And so I left that course really motivated, I think, to sort of become more active in education and help to sort of alter those kinds of images of Native people. There tends to be the discourse in Canada now with the burgeoning young Aboriginal population of sort of bringing these young folks into the labor market. And increasingly that's talked about in very instrumental ways. So how to bring them into sort of the trades as one example in Alberta. I'm preparing right now to teach a graduate level course in place-based education, focused very much on learning about place, in particular local context. Teaching and research right now in Indigenous education focused on connecting the past and the present. So part of learning about place, I think, is very much learning about the history of places and creating a broader understanding of how places come into being. The thing I would recommend is looking for mentorship that can support you throughout your studies. So both students and faculty members that are able to really actively support you through the duration of your program, I think, is really key. These institutions are by and large still formulated, and operate through Western ideologies, and so they can be challenging sites for Indigenous students, and I think that kind of support is critical, to having a meaningful experience in graduate studies.